Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Here's an invisible power all around us, helping us to co-create our lives. You can tap into this invisible power and change your life. As human beings, we've been trained to live by habit. We live the same day over and over and over. We become reliant on automatic behaviors. Just think about what you normally do in a day. When you wake up, most people grab their phones or turn on the news. But if you have habitual ways of going through your day, which help you very much, you wouldn't want to spend your life thinking about every single task that you're doing, like brushing your teeth, having a shower, brushing your hair. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think even about driving. If we drive the same route to work every day, it becomes automatic, habitual. And if you want to change your life, you have to change your habits. I'm going to read from Genevieve Behrend's book, Your Invisible Power, and she talks about creating a mental picture. She suggests that we be sure to know exactly what conditions that you wish to produce, and then weigh carefully what further results the accomplishment of your desire will lead to. You can bring a thought into your mind, any kind of a thought, whether it's helpful or hurtful, whether it's beautiful or not so much. You can bring a picture to the screen of your mind, like being in a movie theater. For some people, it's more of an idea. Some people can clearly vision in color. But don't worry if you can't bring a picture to your mind quickly and easily, but you can train your imagination. You can train your mind. If I said to you, picture yourself on a beach, each one of us might have a different beach in mind. You might think about or picture in your mind a beautiful beach in Hawaii or in Bali, in Saskatchewan, or in Europe, by the Rocky Mountains, in the middle of a field. If I ask you to picture your favorite lake, are there pebbles and big rocks all along it, or is it fine white powdery sand? Most people have studied enough about art that if I say, picture the Mona Lisa, you know exactly what that painting looks like. Picture the Eiffel Tower. Picture the refrigerator in your own kitchen. Picture your bedroom. Now picture something that you truly desire. It could be anything. Everyone has different desires. Some people want more physical luxury, more beauty in their surroundings. They would prefer to be living in a different place or driving a different vehicle. Many people want more love in their lives. What conditions would you wish to produce in your life? By letting your thought dwell upon a mental picture, you are concentrating the creative action of spirit in this center where its forces are equally balanced. Visualizing brings your objective mind into a state of equilibrium, which enables you to consciously direct the flow of spirit to a definitely recognized purpose and to carefully guard your thoughts from flowing in the opposite direction. Genevieve Biren says you must always bear in mind that you are dealing with a wonderful potential energy which is not yet differentiated into any particular form. This divine, infinite, spiritual power is always flowing. Creative energy, invisible power. It's available to all of us. It's not yet differentiated into any particular form, and that by the action of your mind, you can differentiate it into any specific form that you will. Your picture assists you to keep your mind fixed on the fact that the inflow of this creative energy is taking place. Also, by your mental picture, you are determining the direction you wish the sensitive creative power to take. And by doing this, you make the externalization of your picture a certainty. By your mental picture, you determine the direction you wish the creative power to take. And in doing this, you externalize, you make the externalization of your picture a certainty. You bring certain results into your life. Remember, when you are visualizing properly, that there is no strenuous effort to hold your thought forms in place. Strenuous effort defeats your purpose and suggests the consciousness of an adverse force to be fought against. And this creates conditions adverse to your picture. You just want it to flow and be easy. Don't force it. Just allow it. Genevieve says, by holding your picture in a cheerful frame of mind, you shut out all thoughts that would disperse or dissipate the spiritual nucleus of your picture. Because the law is creative in its action, your picture desire is certain of accomplishment. Holding the picture of what you really want, get into the feeling of what it's going to do for you, how you're going to be happy, healthy, wealthy, prosperous, loved, respected, at ease, joyful. By holding your thought in a cheerful frame of mind, you shut out all thoughts that would disperse or dissipate the spiritual nucleus. And because the law is creative, your picture desire is certain of accomplishment. This is Not daydreaming, it's not a waste of time. It is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Visualizing and making a mental picture for the purpose of determining the quality you are giving to the previously undifferentiated substance and energy. You're not trying to arrange the specific circumstances for its manifestation. That is the work of creative power itself. It will build its own forms of expression quite naturally if you will allow it, and it will save you a great deal of needless anxiety. Genevieve Behrend says what you really want is expansion in a certain direction, whether it's health, wealth, or whatnot. And so long as you get it, and you surely will if you confidently hold to your picture. It doesn't matter how it reaches you by some channel which you thought you could count upon, or through some other of whose existence you had no idea. You are concentrating energy of a particular kind for a particular purpose. Keep this in mind and let specific details take care of themselves. And never mention what you are doing to anyone. Remember always that nature, from her clearly visible surface to her most arcane depths, is one vast storehouse of light and good, entirely devoted to your individual use. Your conscious oneness with the great whole is the secret of success. And once you have fathomed this, you can enjoy your possession of the whole or a part of it at will, because by your recognition you have made it and can increasingly make it yours. Never forget that every physical thing, whether for you or against you, was a sustained thought before it was a thing. Thought as thought is neither good nor bad. It is creative action, and it always takes physical form. Therefore, the thoughts you dwell upon become the things you possess or do not possess. Genevieve Behrend's little book, Your Invisible Power, has a lot of stories about some of the clients who came to her and told her stories. A man came telling how he longed to marry a certain young woman, but felt he could not afford to because his salary was small and his work was uncertain. Genevieve spoke the word of ever-present, certain, unlimited supply, and she explained that love knows no failure. She said, it is yours to enjoy. See yourself in the kind of a home you both want. Do your part. Keep on loving the girl and believe absolutely in that which lives and loves in you. A few months later, they both came to her study looking radiantly happy. She knew they were married, and the wife said to Genevieve, "Dear Mrs. Behrend, we are very happy because we now know how to use our thought power and hold our consciousness as one with all we want. Be yourself and enjoy life in your own divine way. Do not fear to be your true self, for everything you want wants you." Everything you want wants you. Visualizing without a will sufficiently steady to inhibit every thought and feeling that's contrary to your pictured thought would be useless. You have to hold the picture in thought and feeling without any ifs, simply realizing that your thought is the great attracting power, and that your mental picture is as certain to be projected upon your physical world as a slide put into a projector. What is it that you really want? There's a paragraph in Thomas Troward's books that Genevieve Behrens studied over and over, and she memorized it and endeavored with all her soul to enter into the spirit of these words. My mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression. And this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new, not included in the past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. Therefore, since the divine cannot change its inherent nature, it must operate in the same manner with me. Consequently, in my own special world, of which I am the center, it will move forward to produce new conditions, always in advance of any that have gone before. Genevieve says it took effort to memorize this paragraph. The words seemed to carry with them a certain stimulus. Each repetition of the paragraph made it easier for me to enter into the spirit of it. The words expressed exactly what I had been seeking. My one desire was for peace of mind. I found it comforting, believe that the divine operation in me could expand to fuller expression and produce more and more contentment. In fact, a peace of mind and a degree of contentment greater than I had ever known. The paragraph further inspired me with deep interest to feel that the life spark in me could bring into my life something entirely new. I did not wish to obliterate my past experience, but that was exactly what Troward said it would not do. The divine operation would not exclude my past experience, but proceeding out of it would bring some new things that would transcend anything that I have ever experienced before. Meditation on these statements brought with it a certain joyous feeling. What a wonderful thing it would be if I could accept and sincerely believe beyond all doubt that this one statement of Troward's was true. Surely the divine could not change its inherent nature, and since divine life is operating in me, I must be divinely inhabited, and the divine in me must operate just as it operates upon the universal plane. This meant that my whole world of circumstances, friends, and conditions would ultimately become a world of contentment and enjoyment, of which I am the center. This would all happen just as soon as I was able to control my mind and thereby provide a concrete center around which the divine energies could play. My mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression. And this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new, not included in the past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. Therefore, since the divine cannot change its inherent nature, it must operate in the same manner within me, within you, within each person, in your own special world of which you are the center. The divine energy will move forward to produce new conditions, always in advance of any that have gone before. What is it that you truly desire? Think about it. Bring the picture into your mind. Visualize as if you're already there and you're looking out from that place. Everything must have its beginning in mind. Have an absolute feeling of certainty, of being in touch with all the power life has to give. This might take some practice. Genevieve Behrend says, in actual practice, we must first form the ideal conception of our object with the definite intention of impressing it upon the universal mind. It is this thought that takes such thought out of the region of mere casual fancies, and then affirm that our knowledge of the law is sufficient reason for a calm expectation of a corresponding result, and that therefore all necessary conditions will come to us in due order. Everything happens at the right time. We can then turn to the affairs of our daily life with a calm assurance that the initial conditions are either already there or they will soon come into our view. If we do not see them at once, let us rest content with the knowledge that the spiritual prototype is already in existence. What you want is already here. It's in your imagination. It's in the invisible realm. And some circumstances will point you in the desired direction. Things start to shift, to change. You get new ideas. It may be a very small circumstance, but it is the direction and not the magnitude which is to be taken into consideration. As soon as we get an idea, we should take action on it. As soon as we see things start to shift a little bit, we should regard it as the first sprouting of the seed sown in the absolute, and do calmly and without excitement whatever the circumstances seem to require. And then later on we shall see that this doing will in turn lead to a further circumstance in the same direction until we find ourselves conducted step by step to the accomplishment of our object, the results that we want. In this way, the understanding of the great principle of the law of supply will, by repeated experiences, deliver us more and more completely out of the region of anxious thought and toilsome labor, and bring us into a new world where the useful employment of all our powers, whether mental or physical, will only be an unfolding of our individuality upon the lines of its own nature. and therefore a perpetual source of health and happiness. A sufficient inducement, surely, to the careful study of the laws governing the relation between the individual and the universal mind. My mind is a center of divine operation. All things whatsoever thou wilt believe thou hast received, and thou shalt receive. Believe and receive. You might take the time to write down what it is that you truly desire, and any ideas that come to you while you're in the energetic feeling of already being there, already accomplishing your goal, already living the healthy, wealthy, prosperous life that you deserve, that you desire. It's all yours. Think and feel and take actions. Move in the direction of your dream. I promise you it won't be a dream for very long. It's yours for the taking. Right now it might be on the invisible realm, and as you take action, you bring it into your physical results. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. Thank you.